Hello. It is Friday, the 28th of November, 2025. The time, of course, is 10 past tomorrow. And today we're going to talk about something that a lot of business leaders are pretty quietly wrestling with. They are staring at dashboards, board papers, profit and loss sheets, and many are thinking, where is the ROI that everyone keeps promising from AI? The question put another way is, if AI is meant to be a big shift, then why don't the revenue and profit numbers look bigger? And so here's what we are seeing in this space with our 10 past tomorrow clients. And I've also combined our thinking with two pieces of writing that landed on my desk this week and helped me sharpen the picture here. One was a LinkedIn post from Conor Grennan, and the other was a long form essay by Azeem Azhar. And I'll link you to both of those below this video. But also, there's some really important data to feed into this conversation. So the new McKinsey State of AI 2025 report is out this month. It's surveyed almost 2,000 organizations across 105 countries, full spectrum of industries, roles, job types. And one of the storylines that it speaks to is that AI is lifting innovation in individuals by 64%. And it's also lifting employee satisfaction in those same individuals by 45%. Now, those are really meaningful gains. But when we're talking direct ROI on profit, the same McKinsey report says only 6% of companies are reporting a direct lift in EBITDA profit. For those 6%, though, the gains are really solid. They're showing on average, 36% profit improvement and 33% organic growth in revenue. So there's a gap there, right? There's a gap between individual efficiency and productivity gains and then organizational-wide revenue gains and profit gains. And to be very clear, that's exactly where you would expect this technology to be at this point in its life cycle. So bearing in mind, we are only 3 years past the ChatGPT moment, the birth of the generative AI era. And so for a general purpose technology, these are really, really strong ROI signals. Individual productivity and efficiency is rising, but yes, firm level, organizational level ROI, profitability ROI is slower to show up. And that is normal with the introduction of a new general purpose technology. So to put this pace in context, the St. Louis branch of the US Federal Reserve recently reported that generative AI adoption, and this is US centric, but generative AI adoption in individuals has jumped from 44.6% this time last year to 54.6% this year. That's a 10 percentage point jump in 12 months. To contrast that against other meaningful general purpose technologies at the same stage in their life cycle, 3 years into the PC era, they had only hit a 19.7% adoption rate, and 3 years into the AI era, into the internet era, the internet was experiencing 30% adoption. So contrast that, 54.6% currently. AI is spreading at roughly twice the speed that the internet did. So what I'm saying here is, while maybe inside your organization, and because of the pace of the world these days, AI adoption and AI influence into profitability, ROI, may feel slow. But to zoom out to the context across the economy, AI is moving faster than anything we've ever seen. So at this point, people often ask me for real use cases that show real ROI in real, and especially New Zealand companies. Let me be clear here, these examples definitely exist. I can't talk openly about our work with our clients, and also on a wider scale, the companies who are seeing real ROI aren't screaming about it from the rooftops. It is their clearest competitive advantage that exists these days. And so if and when companies are seeing ROI from AI, they are holding it tight to their chests. However, there are still some good public stories that we can talk about, right? So Micron, one of the significant players in the microchip computer chip industry, has recently reported 30 to 40% productivity gains for their individuals from AI tools, right? Walmart has a specific AI integration now that has cut a 6-month fashion cycle to 8 weeks. They do that by using AI to survey and scan fashion trends at scale across the world. And then the same AI will then research, find, communicate with suppliers, organize contracts, and have those clothes on the shelves in 8 weeks, where previously it took them 6 months. Another fascinating and really kind of pragmatic, down to earth example is I recently read a research report about a survey of a large association of plumbers in the US who were really using AI significantly, and they were reporting higher revenue through more time on the tools because they were using AI to supercharge all the back function of their plumbing businesses. So all of those anecdotes point in the same direction. Individuals and small teams are already seeing significant ROI, right? Larger company organizational wide profit ROI results are lagging because that part comes later. And to be really specific here, you don't get scaled profitability gains just from individuals using off-the-shelf AI. You get efficiency gains, you get productivity gains, but meaningful profit gains come from actually redesigning workflows and processes and expectations of the company around AI. And we've got historical precedent for this. We've seen this before. The best the best simile, the best metaphor to lean on is when factories got electricity during the Industrial Revolution, right? The most obvious move initially was to install lights in factories and workspaces so that people could work longer. They worked longer, so there was a direct effect on productivity, but that didn't change how the work was done. The real lift, actually, when you read the history, the real lift took 2 decades before factories actually started redesigning their layouts and redesigning the tools that they were using to incorporate electricity and to build what we call modern assembly lines now, which were powered by electricity. So there's a parallel here. Right now, most companies, most organizations are still in that hanging the lights on, hanging the lights up phase with AI, right? We are adding AI to old existing processes, and yes, we're getting profitability and efficiency gains, but they are relatively small wins and won't move profitability in meaningful ways. So what we're seeing, and this is reflected in the McKinsey report that I'll link you to, that 6% of companies who are seeing profitability gains and significant ones, that is because they have cottoned on to this idea that the 94% haven't. They are redesigning their workflows, roles, skills, policy, managerial, and leadership culture, redesigning everything around what makes AI possible. They're not just making the old engine go faster, they are building a completely new engine. And so the point here is technology pushes forward quickly. Organizations, though, move slower. They're shaped and to a large extent held back by decades of habits that have been built around human speed, human risk, human incentives, and relying on human decision making. And so what I'm saying here is most of our organizations and the processes that they're built on were built for around human limits. But AI isn't beholden to those same limits. So the old structures are what is slowing everything down. Front runners with AI right now, they're the ones who are moving past the chatbot era. They have fully incorporated chatbots and off-the-shelf AI technology into existing processes and they're seeing those efficiency and productivity gains. They're moving past that into what I call stage two, which is using AI to completely rethink the possibility around their products, services, customer experiences, managerial practices, and leadership teams. Now, if that's what I'm calling stage two, you can't get to stage two without having been through stage one. So I fall back on the same principles and tenets that we always talk about at 10 past tomorrow, which is that you need deep AI literacy across your whole organization, not just rolling out Copilot licenses, but actual deep AI literacy. All of your people understanding how to work with AI, how to fold it into their day-to-day roles to achieve stage one. If I was to summarize this all together, I'd say here's the simple version of what we're facing when we're talking about this. Where is the ROI in AI conversation? Simple version is every general purpose technology follows the same kind of curve, the same 3 steps. Firstly, people, individuals get better, faster, more innovative, more creative. Second step, whole workflows get redesigned and reimagined. And thirdly, that's when organizations capture the value, capture the ROI. So most of the world is very much still between step one and step two. And that's actually okay. In my expectation, that's exactly where we should be in this timeline during the AI era. So this is not a moment to panic. This video essay is not here as a panic hype mechanism. If you are still building AI literacy within your organization, that is fine. Just know that you are on the clock, right? The organizations that are shifting from AI as an add-on to AI reshaping how work, leadership, managerial practices are done, those are the ones that will start to get the strongest AI returns. Perhaps if you're a person who likes practical takeaways from essays like this, if one practical thing that you could take back to your leadership team is to try this. Pick one real workflow in your organization and redesign it end to end with AI in the next 90 days. Not a workflow that still relies on people doing it with AI, redesigned completely around AI, right? So a real start to finish AI workflow. That is where that ROI will come from for the people in the organization and leaders who are prepared to do the work here. I would love to hear your comments, your thoughts on how this resonates with you and what you're seeing with you in your organization. And as a last point, I listen to the feedback I hear regularly. Mark, you need to be more succinct, stop waffling. So for this particular video essay, I did run it through, after I'd written it, I ran it through Claude and asked it to pull it up and rewrite me for succinctness. So I'd love to hear if that's moved the dial for you this week as well.